intel on here, and they did get to watch Kinguin play Luminosity on this map as well, so they're going to be aware of what they're going to bring to the table. So obviously an exciting one to come. They're always going to be at this level, but we do have to favour TSM pretty thoroughly, I think.
Yeah, and of course TSM will be starting on the T side in this one, Kinguin on the CT side, and I'm just hoping Kinguin can find a little bit of that fire. So the Desperate wait and see if they can do that, if they can roll into this game. TSM, however, of course, one map up to the good here. This is their map. They're starting on the T side, and the game is about to go live. Henry, I assume you're sticking with TSM in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Like, especially Kinguin obviously have the silver lining here of starting CT, but it's turning more into a T-sided map every day. As teams get better and develop the meta, they're finding ways to exploit bomb sites. We're going to see a lot of interesting stuff from SoloMid. There was speculation of them saving a certain strategy for this event. I'm not sure how true that is, but let's see what they bring to the table here, and we can see now a very set, normal B rush coming in, it seems, but maybe slowing it down a bit.
Yeah, keeping maybe a couple of cards closer to their chest, not giving it all away just as of yet, but it's a very clear focus, and now the alarm bells will ring for Team Kinguin. The T side are making their presence known, and Karrigan straight away getting the double, and that is the site in their control. Team SoloMid get the bomb down, 5 players alive again, and Kinguin are in dire straits.
They need to do a huge retake here. Bomb already down, and they don't really have too much positional control either.
No, an admirable attempt here from Rain. He does at least find Zipnix, but that site is looking impenetrable as there we go. Karrigan in the end finding 3 with the Tech 9, and a very solid start for TSM.
That was such a cool round with TSM, actually. We see a lot of teams just do a straight-up rush B through the monster tunnel, get onto the site, try and swarm them. But those 2 smokes, look how perfect that is. As soon as they come around short, those smokes bloom. There's no intel gain from the CTs until there's actually come into it, and they got completely shut down. Karrigan continuing his run of good form with 3 frags on the pistol round. He is looking phenomenal on the big stage. So, a great start from TSM.
Yeah, TSM obviously inspired by Karrigan's performance on Dust 2. They give him a Kevlar and Tech 9, and he just shreds what was left of the CTs. Now, let's see what Scream can do. He's going to get pushed on. It's easy. Oh, with limited magazine, he finds 2. Insane start then into this second round of Overpass. And now TSM chopped down to size. They do have 2 rifles remaining. And it's going to come down to the numbers game of Kinguin, as Scream has taken them on leaps and bounds already.
Done some massive work there. Now the T's need to work out what's going to be the best option. They have got onto the A-bomb, so getting the bomb down quickly as well is going to work in their favour.
Bomb going in, so time is going to be of the essence. So Makaleli and Scream need to get their shoes on and start running, because they need to make a jab at this one. Or will Scream's hard work earlier on be in vain? Makaleli connects, he does again onto Dupree. Dupree's not going to be breathing for much longer thanks to Scream, who's already found his 3rd. And now Device has it all to do. Dennis picks up the frag, finds the head of Device, and Kinguin, thanks to Scream and co, find the 2nd.
Yeah, cool idea from Device there at the end, trying to hide behind the steps, but it leads to nothing. So Scream obviously answering back. 3 kills for him. Those 2 kills at the stairs were so vital for him. That's a very fast take from TSM as well. You'd normally expect an anti-eco team to approach them a lot slower, but they got completely wrecked in that situation, and it just fell apart from there, and they bounced straight back on the CT side, and they've got a real chance of gaining some momentum now.
Immaculate work from Scream, a man who's had these moments before, and it's great to see it at such a pivotal point here.
But with the bomb going down twice, we have to remember, look at the money for TSM. They are going to try and bounce straight back into this one. CT economy can be so hard, but CT's going for some early aggression. They know they need that early frag.
Yeah, Rain and Scream getting that information. They have gathered at least some kind of it. And let's see if Team SoloMid can once again turn it against the guns here. They do have just a little bit, enough to work with. They've got the utility there. You can see it put into place. And this looks a lot like that first round again. Dennis a little more cautious this time. Karrigan tries to spray wildly in with the Tech 9. Not going to get it as Fox puts out the fire. The Team SoloMid started to try and burn towards B as Cajun B. Last man alive gets dealt with. And Kinguin pick up 2.
So the force buy with a little bit of utility as well. There's an AK-47. I talked about B bombs being viable for a straight-up execution. The CTs were aware of that, gaining that intel from pushing middle very fast. They were able to bring the CTs back, warn their teammates, and then they expected the push to come in, and it was very cleanly handled. So we saw Scream picking up 2 vital frags there, and it actually forces TSM onto a full eco now. So they've bounced back after losing that pistol. This is looking very promising with them now. They need to make sure they don't take any deaths in this round and start building up a decent bank to handle future rounds. But Scream doesn't seem to care. He's going straight up there and seeing what he can find in the fountain area once again.
Oh, a slight overextension is going to cost him his life. Karrigan puts the bullet into his head, and now looks like the bodies are going to start stacking up. for the T side.
A little bit of a silly frag to give away, and we're only trying to gain intel, but when you know the economy is going to be so weak for the T's there, you don't need to commit at least one person in that area. Going down to a Glock is not a great result for him, but it's still going to work in their favor. 4-on-3 situation, but the T's have gained an M4. Cajun B, one of the most explosive players on the server, he's going to be wielding that and seeing what he can do with that.
So it does give them some firepower. Whether or not that's going to give them a leg up in this round, of course, the dream so far with what they've invested into this round, or what they could invest, is to get that bomb down. What's going to be happening? Oh, Dupree, what was that? Finds Rain, and it looks like Makalele isn't going to let this one go any further. 3 swift frags for him as the Swede secures a very important round for Kinguin, keeping it relatively neat as well, after Scream.
Absolutely, so that was a good defense from Makalele. We saw Scream have a really audacious play out to middle. He got taken down. He gained a gun for the terrorist side, but they weren't able to capitalize there. Makalele getting 3 nice kills onto the bomb site and locking it down. 3-1 now in favor of Kinguin. They're looking pretty strong here. We can see the Overpass come out. They're going to be the first ones to bring it out, because TSM don't seem to have the money to do that. So 5 rifles for them, but they have got 5 smokes. But feeling oh my goodness, that's actually a huge pick from Makalele, and that's what we're talking about on the CT side. You need to get the first pick and then fall back to the bomb side if you can, but Rain doesn't seem to be done here.
No, Scream fancies a bit of it as well. He's going to try and challenge there, but might just want to back out of this one after we did see, of course, Rain being picked up. But what a start here for Kinguin.
So there's 2 frags. Even though losing Rain in that situation, it's absolutely fine, because it's going to leave T's with very little options here. 3 AKs available. They do have the bomb, though, making their way to the monster tunnel, it seems, but they have got a chance to execute here. We know they have those 2 smokes that can lock out and isolate the B-bomb site, but getting those frags in this situation, it seems like the CTs are all too aware as well. 2 men playing very close up in front of the smokes where they may land.
Let's see what Team SoloMid can do. Operating at a loss here, down to 3 players. Fox trying to get a little bit of a glimpse. Not going to find too much there. 40 seconds remain, and slowly but surely I'm going to see this boy start flooding towards his site. It's Cajun B to get it cracked open against Fox, as already the CT side starts to shatter here under the pressure, but no, Dennis holds his nerve. He does catch a glimpse of one towards the site.
Dennis just needs to stay alive in this situation. Had he have died, it could have been devastating, but Device finds Scream, but it's quickly shut down by Makalele there. And another clean round for Kinguin there. They're looking pretty strong right now. That forced buy from Team SoloMid, they're gonna, oh, this is the pick. We didn't actually see this properly, so that's a great shot.
Lovely.
Great open, and that's what CT play is all about, working out what the T's are doing. And if you can get a kill on that at the same time, that's amazing. So looking at the TSM economy right now, so they can't even justify really anything else apart from some Tech 9s right now. They will get a decent loss bonus going to this, I believe, so they've lost, that's 4 in a row, so they get maximum next round, so they're going to have a really nice buy, and they'll probably be planning to bring the AWPs out themselves.
So wise from TSM. Let's see though if they can make much more of an impact. Scream, of course, giving them a bit of a masterclass in the round not too long ago with that CZ. This time though on the T side, what can they do? Scream makes his whereabouts known, and Rain making short work of Device. As even on the T side as well for TSM, it becomes even more difficult sometimes, especially on a map like Overpass, to just try and find a way in, and Rain is most definitely making it difficult.
Well,
now,
the frags actually being exchanged pretty cleanly now, and they're not giving away any block frags like last time. It's going to seem business as usual for Team Kinguin. 5-1 now, and this is where things really do get interesting. It's not too bad for TSM. They just feel like their economy shook up a little bit after winning that first pistol, and then Scream locking them down in the steps area. But there we go. As I predicted, Device is going to bring out the AWP now, so perhaps going to be waiting for that aggression with Makalele. But that's the thing with Makalele. You don't know where he's going to be. Try, and one time he can go peek middle, the other time he'll go towards B, and it looks like he actually maybe changes his position up once again. So this time he does go towards B. So this is what's so good about him, and he's a great player to watch.
Absolute fluidity to the way he plays. It is a pleasure to watch. But let's see if he can find any impact into this round. So far, Team SoloMid, of course, not making as much into this map as I thought they would have brought with. But still, it's early days. It's not the end of the world, but this is still important. This would give Kinguin that little bit of momentum to start them building in towards this game. Maybe get over what happened on Dust 2, but still. 1 minute left here, and the T side actually given a fair bit of control.
Yeah, they're actually just trying to feel out the map this time. Instead of going for a straight-up set piece and getting locked down and start the round, they've been given some room to breathe here. So gaining contest of the long area, Dupree and Device there, that's great for them. They're going to push the CTs back to the bomb site. And see Occasion there as well. They're actually just trying to work out what's going to be viable for them. And now it seems like an A execute is going to be the ideal situation for them. CTs have no real positional advantage here, so you can expect probably a wall of smokes onto the A bomb site before they make their way onto there. And then getting the bomb down will be the first priority. But Rain has got a sense this may be incoming.
Yeah, he's got a good little sixth sense to this one. Positioning well, awaits, Scream holds long. Look at this play between the two. That's 2 kills back to back, but KGB did break through towards the side, but lurking at the background, he just might have heard those footsteps pitter-pattering away, but Dennis, Makalele, Fox, all still alive as well. Zipnix falls, Rain playing a pivotal piece here. And now Device and KGB with such a task at hand. Bomb is down, they have some chance in this, but look at Device as well. KGB, perfect work towards Fox. He gets the tag as well, Makalele's low, but can this man do it all? 1v2, Device. What can you find? There's the first, he knows it's Makalele now. Oh my God, that was a bit dangerous there. Peeking through, Device patiently waiting, he takes it. Device being the one-man band, 3 kills that round, and dealing with that situation so perfectly.
Just huge clutch play there from TSM. They shouldn't really deserve to win that round.
Yep.
Team Kinguin had a perfect read on them. We saw Rain pushing through the smoke, locking down the execution of the wall of smokes coming in. The thing is, they managed to get an early bomb down with the frags that were exchanged, so it allowed Device to get into that position where he could finally clutch it. And the CT seemed to think he was towards long for some reason, so he took advantage of that and made sure he got into the round. So great stuff from them, and that's a round they needed. So it's 5-2 now in favour of Kinguin, but full buys coming in for both teams. So this obviously is a huge round in the context of the economy.
And look at Dupree trying to catch one off, and it is. Fox get caught with his pants around his ankles, and now where do you build from here? Dupree finding the early entry, and it looks like TSM are happy to bolster the numbers on towards the site. Makalele gonna be the one holding steady. Dennis is there as well, and it does look like TSM have made leaps and bounds into getting this bomb down. Zipnix putting it in. Still though, 007 for him. Secret agent style so far for the Dane. Yet to pick up a frag. Dennis does take down Dupree in the meantime, so we have ourselves a level playing field. But time is of the essence now, and it looks like Scream realizes it, finds another onto Zipnix. Carrigan, Device, and KGB with it all to do. Device did it on his own last time. Can he do it with the support of his team? Defuse is being considered. Makalele does get taken down. Device emerges from the smoke, but the last frag does get secured, and Dennis is going to be able to pick that one up in the nick of time. There it is, and Kinguin have prevailed in that round. It was messy, it was a slaughter over towards the B site, but Kinguin looking stronger and stronger as this game progresses.
Why was Makalele the guy with no diffuse kit, the one taking that down, going for the 10-second wonder as such a pivotal part of the round? Interesting decision from them, but that was the B execute we're talking so much about here from a lot of teams these days. VP are the ones I think really set the bar for that. It's such a strong execute and it's so difficult to hold. Getting the bomb down is almost a very easy task when you run that tactic, but a great retake from Kinguin. It came down to the wire, but they got back into it, and that does reset TSM back to an eco now.
And this should be shooting fish in a barrel here. A little bit quiet overall. Pistols just in hand. And there we go. Dennis and Makalele actually, the last two standing. And Dennis is very, very low here. He's trying to hold on towards this site, trying to keep this one in check. And Makalele as well, having to solo this one out. But this became very dangerous very quickly. And somehow the Danes have recovered those 2 guns.
This is when the mid-aggression can work against you, especially if you don't predict the money system properly and you go and face them and you get taken down. But now it actually pits TSM in favour here. This is a round they didn't even force buys. They're pretty much an eco for them. So what can they do in this situation? You see, they have got control towards long area, but the thing about Overpass is when you're separated like this as CTs, you're just relying on individual play. Dennis is going to be sat there with 6 HP. And he's going to be the man who's going to have to do something here. He knows he needs intel and he needs it quickly. And they're not really doing much in terms of that. So they're just going to be lying in wait and hoping the terrorists don't come towards that area. But they're going to be slowly making their move. They're moving now from long.
Yeah, and Dennis is going to be asking questions soon. 27 seconds. The pressure about to mount. He catches a glimpse of the rifle, but Device easily going to land that shot, considering Dennis was so low. And Makalele now a million miles apart. As you said, this map can be very punishing here.
So he's going to try and save the AWP. Obviously a disappointing round after recovering that last one in such a dire situation for them, but it's going to be a good save, I think. They're doing pretty well. Only 3 rounds on the board for TSM right now, so it's going well for Team Kinguin. They are bouncing back from the first map we saw, though. Obviously went down to a huge deficit at the start. At least this time they have rounds to play with, and they can justify saving guns instead of having to be forced to do things.
And I love the way the Team SoloMid can be so punishing towards any mistakes. If you push out that aggression you said can be punished, we've seen Scream now a couple of times having issues with that being caught out, and you can see that Team SoloMid will not turn that down. They'll take advantage and then they'll start running away with it. But still, overall, this is still going okay for Kinguin, even with these mistakes at hand.
So this round's going to be interesting, right? Because Makalele saving the orb, it looks like they're actually going to go with this. They didn't have much money at all to play with, trying to utilize the AWP and hope it's enough to carry them in this round. We can see 5-7s, a Famus and the AWP. Michael, we saw him get that pick in middle at the start of a few rounds ago, but he's going to have to do some work like that again to give his team a chance even getting into this round.
TSM, they know there's an AWP in play, and it doesn't look like they're going to be feeding him anything early just yet, but look at Carrigan on the charge at this moment in time. T-side looking to try and seize early control, and here they come, emerging through the smokes. Dennis was not expecting this one. 5-7 close range did favor him somewhat, but no, not going to happen. Zipnix is there as well, and now Scream trying to get the rebuttal. Bomb goes in though, thanks to Device punching in the digits, and it comes down to 3 remaining CTs. They are kind of separated from one another.
Just clever use of utility again. When you're being locked out in that situation, you down a man as well. But Cajun B is waiting for them on the rotations, takes down Scream, and we saw the money was so low. Every kill they can get is going to be so important to grinding the CTE team out of this map, and they are hunting. They know Makaleli still has that AWP as well, and he knows it. He's hiding behind the truck, trying to see what he can do. Will he be able to stay alive? Of course not. Cajun B is too hot right now, and Rain's going to be the last remaining player, and he's going to be running for his life. Actually holding his 5-7. He didn't even get a rifle out of this. So great round from TSM there, and making sure they shut down that force buy, and that could lead problematic for Kinguin, and that could set them up for a couple of ecos now.
That is going to be unfavorable, to say the least. TSM kind of riding off the back of what was an incredible win on that eco, and that's going to be starting to level things out. 6-4 is the score, and looks like just Rain with that maintained armor and pistol going to be the only real impact that he can bring into this round. It's going to be down to doing this as neat and tidily as possible, if I'm correct, Henry, whereby they basically just need to completely contain the CT side, not get caught out. And talking of caught out, look what the Kinguin boys have decided on.
So they're stacking B. You see the terrorist side holding very passive angles towards the fountain. They know that they like to get aggressive. It's going to be Zipix here, waiting back. He knows the CTs are pushing. He just wants to hold the T-spawn area and make sure they don't get any advantage. One man going down could be dangerous. Just giving them a rifle is not going to be great for them. So just keeping, look, now they've reacted. So they've gathered some information. At least some men are on towards the B bomb site, and they can push towards long.
Yeah, Kinguin having to once again kind of reconsider what they're doing. But, you know, it's good to see them not being completely static in this. They're keeping on their toes. And Team SoloMid respecting every inch of this. They are not going to take this for granted, but actually Zipnix will find Rain. So, once again, T-side doing well, building into this. And the 4 remaining players for Kinguin might start struggling to just gather this information here.
Even if they do, there's not really much they can do. They've got the silenced USPs here, and it's just Scream. We saw him do some huge work in the second round with the CZ, but I'm not really feeling it this time. The TSM just playing this run very carefully. Look, they're actually not taking anything for granted and making sure they have the Device leading the charge here, and if he does run into any trouble, he has his teammates ready to back him up.
The sad fact is that these 4 players were on this bomb site not too long ago, but now, as the bomb comes in, they have a long way to go, and Dupree already at the door will find Fox. Scream around the backside will be found by Zipnix, and Makaleli and Dennis, the last 2 standing. It looks like Team SoloMid starting to find that form here on the T side, starting to be a little bit more robust overall, and trying to keep these 5 players standing, not lose a single person. But Makaleli gets a little bit of damage done towards Carrigan, and actually it will be Dennis to take him down, but Dupree deals with him eventually, and another one on the board for TSM.
Very clinical round from them. Even though they know they're facing against an eco, they didn't want to risk anything, and they know how explosive Team Kinguin will be. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile. So they even did an execution onto the A bomb site, and that's going to be 3 in a row for them now. So they're looking pretty strong. Like TSM, although going with the initial deficit, winning the pistol, then losing 5 rounds in a row after that, they are bouncing back, and they could stabilize it with this one here. Just looking at the Kinguin buy, they are lacking a lot of utility, no defuse kits, no AWP. This is a crazy buy for them. I would have suggested taking 2.
Look at this though, Bloodshed already in connector. It was Scream going for that aggressive peek once again, and he has been actually thriving more times than not. He has been going for these ones, and Fox did take a whole lot of damage. In fact, he's going to continue to do so as he is at risk in that tunnel down to 5, and Device does burn him to death with the Molotov. And now it's a 4 versus 3. Kinguin desperate to try and kind of find that form that they had earlier on. 5 rounds in a row, as Henry said, and now it does look like TSM are starting to get the opening picks that they were struggling to find at the start.
Yeah, so now Team Kinguin, they know they're on the back foot here. They've got 1 flashbang to play with, and 3 CTs are going to invest their men wisely here, because TSM just waiting for a reaction from them. They know they have the advantage here, waiting for a CT to make a mistake perhaps, and Scream, you can see he needs information. He's trying to push and at least clear some areas out and trying to give some information for his teammates, but now TSM have made the decision as to where they would like to go. That's going to be towards B. It looks like all 4 players will be heading through the monster tunnel as well, just making sure they go frag with frag, and there'll be no utility to hold them off, so this could be very problematic indeed for Kinguin.
Yeah, especially as the Molotovs do start coming out, clearing corners for them. They don't even need to check, because now Makalele has to do something, and they actually Scream emerging through the smoke again. This could be beautiful. It is! 2 line up, he knocks them down. Zipnik's in quick damage control, swings around with a pistol, and now all on to Rain. I think he caught a glimpse of one. Trying to do the maths as he's going to throw out the one piece of utility he was gifted in this round, just the flashbang, and he isn't going to be able to make too much of it. It's now Zipnik and Dupree start to set themselves up, trying to create as much of a crossfire as possible. He's still guessing, Rain desperate to try and make this a 1v1, but time is of the essence. He realizes he has to do everything in such a short space of time. There's a molly as well. That's going to be delaying him. I think he realizes this is all said and done as TSM just taunting him with their movement. And Rain's just getting out of there to maintain the rifle.
Yeah, very difficult buy there for Kinguin, not actually taking any kits, any nades, just 5 rifles on the board. That's why I suggested to them like a double eco in that situation would have been more worthwhile. They were playing well before and they had the Makalele orb getting the picks at the start of the round. This one is disappointing for them, and you can see it's going to affect them once more. 6-6, things have been stabilized, and for the first time now, it looks like TSM will take the lead, apart from the pistol round they initially won.
Yep.
They're balancing things out, and they did save, another force buy from Kinguin. Okay, so obviously the loss bonus is working in their favor, but when you're a CT side, it doesn't work the same as the Ts. You can't just get AK armor and a smoke and justify that. They've got Mag 7s, Famises. It's going to be very difficult rounds for them to claw back into. They need to find early frags, but a double orb from TSM now is going to make that even harder. Yeah,
Dupree going to be challenged down with Carrigan. Great little flash comes out, and this time Scream again, only finding one though. It's a 2-for-1 trade, giving the T side such an advantage here. Cajun B finds Dennis, and Kinguin are just being crushed under the pressure the Team SoloMid seems to be able to bring, and Cajun B again. This man is just doing so well already with this orb once he got it into play, but look at this. Makalele now, last man standing. He could at least get down Carrigan, but sadly, Carrigan's not in the exact place he'd want to be.
So did you see what I mean when the guys, they force-bought that and they knew they had to do something to get back into it? TSM were all but aware and just held back, waited for the pushes to come in, and it was really difficult to watch, actually. This is very questionable economic decisions coming in from Kinguin, and this is how you ruin a game for yourselves, but just not taking the ecos on the chin. But all of a sudden, Makalele is making this competitive, doesn't have a kit, but 2 orbs to take down on the B bomb side. He does fancy his chances a little bit, and he'll at least go for it, but time ticking away, he knows he hasn't got much chance here and will be falling back at this point.
Yeah, and look at that spot, Cajun B's, and he knows where the real threat is, where it lays, and Device not too far away either, and I think he just had a little bit of a glimmer as to where he might be, and there we have it. Team SoloMid starting to build themselves into this game, showing their strength, showing how much they can achieve with those double orbs, and I love seeing these boys picking that up to play. And as you said, starting to take the lead here, and Kinguin struggling in this one.
Yep, they've got themselves into this classic rut now. They won't be able to get full buys. They keep forcing every single time, so they're going to be in the back foot, and they're going to have to keep forcing the issue every single round. And Device wow. Boost jump. That can actually prove problematic when you've got an AWP. He can actually justify going straight to the side, but he won't. But yeah, like I was saying, this is just bad times for Kinguin. They need to get this round to have a chance of getting back into this series. And Makalele taking a lot of damage there, and that's going to add insult to injury.
Absolutely, and Carrigan so strong on Dust 2, especially on that T side, and finding ways into the side. He finds one right there. Dennis opens up an avenue on towards the site. Molly as well to clear corners. That's going to be a second as Fox falls. What was he doing? As now it's going to be a 5v3, made 5v2, as it just cannot stop. This kind of is running away from Kinguin. Finally, Rain finds a breath, catching it and trying to do something with it. Now, 4v2.
They're going to have to save these guns again. They can't justify going for this. They have no kits. They have one smoke grenade to play with, and Carrigan is just having an absolute field day. Running into bomb sites, the analyst pointed out before, as an in-game leader can go in and cause that kind of trouble, that's a very special gift indeed. And Rain is going to be the last man remaining. He is holding towards the long area, but the T's coming in, pincering him. They know how valuable that rifle is to their economy right now. They keep buying up with Famises and nothing else every single round. So they found him. Cajun B's given the call, cleverly waiting for his teammates as well, and Dupree ends the situation there and then, and this beats Kinguin. Like I said, they've ruined their whole half after that promising start they had.
They've just hit a wall. It's so clear. You can just see that they've kind of, comms may have died down somewhat, and they've just basically saying, should we buy? Yeah, FAMAS, limited utility.
It's just when they took that initial risk, you can justify 1 or 2 rounds just to kind of surprise the T's and give yourself a fighting chance with a clever play, like pushing into middle or even down to the steps area, but once they kept doing it time and time again, they got themselves in that rut, and it's just gone horribly since then.
Things started so strongly for them, and already we're going to be seeing an exchange towards water. Dennis, what was that? Explodes towards that water area. Xyp9x finally putting him in his place, but the damage is done, and that's what Scream has been so instrumental in earlier on. 16 frags for him so far, as he's been finding those opening frags. This time it's Dennis who provides.
So a very aggressive push from them on the start of the round. That's what they've needed to be doing. They have been trying that, but this time they found the T's on the push. Dennis getting 2 quick Famous kills there and pushing the T's onto the back foot, but you can't take them away from this. Look at all the grenades they still have available. They can just do the B execute. We've seen time and time again. It's going to be so difficult to hold off, especially when they only have 2 men over there. They still have the number advantage going into this bomb site.
It's going to be Fox and Makalele trying to weather this storm. Fox is going to get an eyeful. He knows they're going to be pushing. He's going to be forced outplaced by that molly, and Xyp9x is going to do the work towards Makalele, but Fox still holding this one close to hand. Rain now has to come in. Fox finds a second. This man single-handedly is locking down the site for once. Device, though, does go down, and finally a little bit of aggression pays off for Kinguin.
Yeah, so disappointing end to the half there for Kinguin, obviously. They lost the pistol, and Scream with a great CZ, couple of great CZ kills in the stairs area, gets 5 in a row. And we're saying it looks like they've bounced back, they've learned their lessons, but it was when they lost that first one, and then when TSM won 1 round, and then Kinguin answered back, and then their economy just went to hell. They kept force buying, and they didn't have enough to play the rounds with, and it seemed like TSM started playing a slow game, expecting the pushes, and it just wasn't enough. And they actually ended up winning the half as well. And after that, a really good start Kinguin had. You have to feel bad for them. They're going to be feeling disappointed with that one.
Pressure, no doubt, mounting for Kinguin as they realize they are closing in on death's door. Elimination from the major. They've made it this far, starting, of course, in the qualifiers, having to prove their worth, both online and offline, before even getting here in Cologne with an opportunity to get to the arena. They've made it this far, but now it comes down to one side on one map.
So we see Scream there. He really did have a great game. He gets 17 frags. Unfortunately, Fox, a player I've been heralding as one of the best support players in the world right now, he's only managing to pick up 6 frags, and the round before I think he was on 5. So he's having a difficult time in this main stage arena. This is the major. We need people to go big, and it seems like he's getting stifled up there, not playing to his usual level. I really do rate him as one of the best support players in the world right now.
Let's bear in mind how many times did Carrigan just walk into that site and just burst through. It was rinse and repeat.
A monster there. Like, he wasn't even getting the, like the analyst desk said before, he's not getting like the most amount of frags on the board, but he's getting the opening frags that seem to be the most important, opening up bomb sites for them, and it's working fantastically for them. 8 rounds is T side, and on Overpass is a fantastic result. Obviously it's their pick, but Kinguin had to win this half, I think, just to give themselves the morale boost they needed after Dust 2.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're talking about nerves, talking about Fox's fragging. On the other side of things, the Danes, I mean, the TSM core, Device, Dupree, and Xyp9x, they've reached the playoffs in all 5 majors under different teams. So they have the experience. They're no stranger to this scenario, and that very well may be playing into this one, as I think it is very much time to see if Kinguin can take us into a 3rd map, or whether or not TSM will meet Envious in the semi-finals.
Here we go then, let's have a look at the Kinguin buy. They have got 4 sets of armor, and when you have that buy, it normally suggests you're going for a straight up B rush, and that seems what they're doing. Scream's going to have 1 smoke to hold off a choke point, but here we go then. What can they make of this?
Well, we're going to find out very soon. Already KGB going to deny Scream a chance, but Fox, the man who's a little quiet, finally steps up to the plate. But so far, it's all going in favour of TSM. As we see, crossing towards the side, Carrigan makes his impact towards the round. It's Dupree to close it down, and that was brutal, absolutely brutal from start to finish, just mutilating the T side as they tried to push through. And sadly, Kinguin not getting the start they wanted.
That's our man Carrigan once again. 3 frags in the pistol. He has been an absolute monster this series, and he's showing to be one of the most valuable players on the server, and that just makes Kinguin's job so much more difficult now. They have opted for the force buy here, something I probably agree with this situation. They need to find that round again. They did before in the first half. Can they do it again? The thing is, they haven't got utility to play with. They've got some CZs, Tech 9s, and some armor, but they're purely banking on the frags here.
Yeah, Anders is going to be upset. There is at least one. They're talking to Nade. Rain catches one beautifully. 60 is all he has to work with now. Fortunately, that Kevlar keeping him a little healthier than he otherwise would be. As now they do look to be taking a little bit of a rest in rest rooms. Dupree just on the other side. I think they must be aware the spray does come through, but this could be brutal. P90 does spray down. He's got plenty more in that clip, but in fact, opting for a fresh one as the T side have hit that CT wall. TSM starting to stack things up. I think they've got a good idea of the numbers. Carrigan, first to draw blood, finds a second quite quickly, as it does look like Kinguin are being shredded in this second round. They forced into it, and they have once again met TSM. 10-7.
So unfortunately, when you lose a pistol round so convincingly, you get one kill, you don't get the bomb down. Those force buys are very difficult to win because, like we saw, you don't have any nades to play with. You can't actually lock off any choke points. You're hoping the CTs make a mistake, and it didn't happen. They got completely mowed down. One saving grace they can take away from this is Michael didn't force buy there. So going into the first gun run, at least they will have the AWP. That's a mistake a lot of teams make, and hopefully he'll be able to bounce back from that and carry them in the first round. But CT's not slowing down, showing that aggression.
Oh, this P90's back out again, ladies and gents. Dupree with the double. Raiden Fox going down. Oh, it's an absolute bloodbath. And it finally ends with Device with the CZ. And there is a lot of bank building on that TSM side. And they've just been manhandling Kinguin so far.
So like I said, Michael getting that AWP, he's going to have to find a pick again. But with TSM getting so much money on the board, they got those SMG kills, Dupree keeping his P90, and Overpass is one of the great maps you can utilize that, especially around the short area of the B bomb site. You can just do so much work. But I see Device has no plans of slowing things down. He is going straight in again, and it looks like he's going to face the steps area as well. We know how valuable this angle can be. And they're not actually going to find any contention just yet, but they're going to keep pushing and see what they can find. And there's the frag from Karrigan once again, opening things up. Fantastic start from them, and they keep applying the pressure here.
It doesn't matter if it's T or CT, Karrigan is the one drawing first blood. The man is on fire as he looks to extend these frags, and he is creeping and crawling in the meantime. Device finding Scream, that's the top fragger now down from the all-star side of Kinguin. Karrigan, he's creeping and crawling. What are you doing? Fox didn't quite catch wind of that silencer behind him. And now the damage is done. Makalele, he doesn't need a scope, rips it off with the AWP, and now potentially looking for a second. He didn't know there was a player towards toilets, but I think he's going to take his time with this one. 55 seconds and just 2 terrorists left to piece this round together.
So yeah, I did say at the start of the round, Michael is going to have to be the point man if they're going to do anything with this, and he finds one, makes it a 4-on-2 situation, but they make their way up long, but they really do know they need to find frags. Time is going to be ticking away. CT's playing very passively now. We can see Dupree is going to find someone. It's going to be a couple of easy frags here, but the looks of things actually not as easy as it once looked. Dennis takes him down, 3-on-1 with Dennis, and he probably would have wanted to save that AWP now. 25 seconds remaining, and he knows how valuable that AWP's going to be going into the next round.
How safe can he keep it though when there's a flash like that?
Actually, looks like he fancies it. Okay, interesting way to try and approach the round, but down he goes, and that's going to be another clean sweep of TSM, really, in the context of things. They got the aggressiveness at the start, took down key players, and now you can see the money once again. It's been a common trend for this map. Battered for Kinguin. They go in with Tech 9s, Deagles, and Glocks.
Yeah, they've been broken time and time again here, Kinguin. This is going to start feeling pretty darn bad. Team SoloMid, on the other hand, are just going from strength to strength. Device looking potent as ever, but Kinguin trying something new, something a little different, trying to maybe find a little bit of respite from Device and Dupree, ripping them to shreds, but now Zipnix has a hand at it. Cajun B's there, and sure, of course, it's Karrigan coming across, and last man standing, Scream, gets the shot towards Device, but I don't think he's going to find much more, and there we go, Karrigan with the double, and again, Team SoloMid ravishing Kinguin here, getting themselves so close now to that semi-final.
Well, let's see what the reaction is here. We saw Michael we get the AWP out last time, had no impact whatsoever. He got completely locked down at the start of the round, but we see this coming in. We're going to round 21. 13-7 in favor of TSM. They've got the AWP again, and Device now being the creative player, moving his position. Last time he went middle, this time he's going towards long, and he's actually going to go for the boost. We see players like Guardian utilising this so much, and Michael actually going for some wall bangs right now. Doesn't find any damage.
And look at this aggression. The CT side, they've kind of switched up the pace again, but Rain is going to have free reign here, get the spray down towards one, but no more to be found. But finally, it's an even situation, 3v3. We've got Dennis, Scream, Makalele up against Device, Cajun B and Dupree. The heavy hitters are still here, and Cajun B fancied his chances, but backs away, got the information and damage done.
So again, Karrigan, he got a great second kill there. He shouldn't have got the second one at all. I think Kinguin will be a little bit frustrated with that, and it's going to be a 3-on-3, but Scream is low on HP, and Makalele answers back with an AWP onto Cajun, and now they have a real chance of getting into the B-bomb side.
Device and Dupree, the double Ds, need to keep this round under control. So it's not like the bomb's gonna be coming in, but Makalele, he's the one lingering at the back, not to get that bomb down. Dupree does make his whereabouts known towards Monster, but there's gonna be a nade exchange, and Dupree's considering going through on this. Bomb goes in, so now time again. Gonna be a priority, but that's a beautiful nade. Scream now down, it's a 2v2, a level playing field. Makalady trained on Device's location, but he does manage to draw out the fire. Device is trying to play this as well as he can, just with the CZ in hand, and Device in the meantime is on the hunt. This could be brutal, they're not looking behind. Fortunately, Makalady finds Device. It's all down to Dupree. One more bullet, he gets it, and TSM have acquired another round. Carrigan raises his hands to the arena as TSM secure 14.
Round Kinguin really should have won. They got in that great position there. The contention on short led them into a 3-on-3 situation, but that clutch situation there, both players getting themselves into such a horrible area, especially with the AWP as well, and the pincer maneuver came in for the CTs to separate their attention, and it was very difficult to watch in the end, and that could be all she wrote really for this game as the terrorists go into this now. They have got a full buy, but they're so far behind on the unfavored side.
The D&D combo then just burning down the house. That was just something you don't see every day, but still. Eyes back into the game. Team SoloMid so close now to getting onto that match point marker. 14 rounds beside them, and already look who's lurking. Look who wants this. The man punched his way in towards this stadium. He was looking so ready for this event. Is having an outstanding match so far. However, Kinguin, it's time to fight back. It's time for them to find their footing here, but that's a good beginning. Carrigan goes down, Makalady opens it up, and at least they have the advantage for now.
Yeah, this has been a problem for them in the past of getting that first pick and not being able to capitalise. So obviously players, actually Makalady holding the flank here as well, so he should be able to find the CT coming in. That's going to be Dupree trying to gain information.
See how that one goes from Zipnix though. Joined by Cage and B, are going to have to deal with the flood of the T players going in. Rain's going to be swept aside as Zipnix is still standing in the T side, one by one assigned to fall. Device was holding the backline, but Fox with a stunning duo finally takes down Device, and it's down to a 2v2. Makalady and Fox against Cage and B and Dupree. The bomb yet to be placed, but look at it again. Dupree's positioning, round the back we go, and it's Fox surrounded. 27 seconds. Another on the board for this man. Can he go big for his team in such an imperative round? 3 kills already. Cage and B to find. 17 seconds. He's got the bomb. He's heard the shot. What can he do with this? Cage and B starting to look at Fox! Stands up finally for his side after being quiet for so long, but what a way to get yourself back in the game. Team SoloMid not getting on that 15 rounds, and that is one man just saying no.
Yeah, we talked about him being quiet, but what a response he's just had in that round. 4 huge kills, and could be one of the most important rounds of the map if he manages to get back into this one. So that was a great stuff from him after losing 6 rounds in a row. They finally answered back, but it took a huge individual performance to even get close to it. So the response now, Kinguin actually opting all 5 players towards B. It wasn't actually going to be an execution. They were just going to run straight through Monster there, but Cage and B locking that down with the incendiary grenade.
We've actually seen more and more on Overpass unannounced pushes on towards the site, kind of keeping the CTs a little surprised. Well, I mean, we're already talking of surprise. We've seen Kinguin with their backs turned to a lot of these rotations from the CTs already, but where does this round take us? Does look like there's a high concentration of Ts, maybe suggesting that boost towards water, but no cigar just yet. Instead, this 3-2 split. The Danes seem to have a good read on where this bomb may be going. Makalady trying to do something similar to what we saw from Carrigan on the opposite side. Now, with 50 seconds, the smokes are going to start to dissipate, and it's going to be time for the Ts to push in. Utility limited, though. Zipnix and Cage and B ready themselves by Monster. And it does look like those CT utility could be proving pretty fatal. 2 down. Dennis, Fox, Scream, Makalady. I'm just reading them off because that's as quick as they come. 15-8 as the majority of Kinguin fall in just 4 seconds.
So you saw they got locked. You saw them get locked out of that B rush. They didn't really know what to do. They didn't react to that. They should have probably fallen back and gone to a standard, but of course they just waited and tried to just work out what they could do, and ended up just running through a smoke in the end and got completely shut down there. Pretty poor showing from Kinguin there, I'm afraid. And after winning 1 round and losing that one, the money's reset, and this is probably the last round we'll see on this map and the last of this series.
And it looks like Kinguin just couldn't deal with the flood that came from Team SoloMid. These boys were relentless so far. Now Kinguin backs to the wall, very little to work with, down so much here. They tried, but sometimes trying is just not good enough, especially against teams like Team SoloMid. So much power here, but they're going to be walking into a bit of a stack, it seems. Oh God, this could be absolutely brutal. Device does catch a glimpse. Makalady having the chance there, but gets denied, sent packing, and the T-side will have to consider options. Rain trying to burst forward, but once again being herded into position. dupreeh putting down the molly as now the 4 players remaining for Team Kinguin have to put this one together. They have to find their marker in this 50 seconds left. Already, 1-for-1 exchange. Device waiting on the site. And you can see around the back in this mode, waiting patiently as dupreeh screams en route. Scream doesn't know it, and here comes dupreeh. What a way you close it down. Team SoloMid have made it. They're going to the semi-finals. They're going to face Envy, and they just threw Kinguin aside.
Fantastic stuff from TSM. After a ropey start at the beginning of the game, winning the pistol, losing 5 in a row, they had a great reply back from their T-side. It was a great use of tactics and shutting down the economy of Kinguin. They didn't seem to be able to get back into it after one questionable buy. They forced themselves into buying Famishes almost every single time, and at that point they lost the half. And then there's the T-side left a lot left to be desired, getting shut down purely in frags. The bomb didn't go off once for them. So interesting game nonetheless, but TSM definitely proving to be the stronger team.
Experience prevailing here at the Lanxess Arena. One step closer for TSM to $250,000 waiting for them as they do progress to the semi-final. They'll be playing up against Envy, as Lauren did state, and a team that forged only back in May, falling flat, but getting this far is an achievement in itself. So congratulations is due to Kinguin, but TSM now setting their sights on the rather mixed up and new, fresh-faced Envious as well.
A lot to be seen. A lot to be seen.
Do see them just kind of... it's a small celebration from TSM, just business as usual for them, as they are just going to be packing up and waiting for their next challenge. We're going to be seeing how far they can get in this one. And I think it is time for us to head on to the stage and see what OJ and Carrigan have to say.
Thank you very much, Alex. First off, congratulations, a great win.
Yeah, that was a good game from our side, so I'm happy with that.
And I can tell, and I would say, you see, normally when we think about Danish people, they're cool, they're calm, they're stoic. They're Danish. So much emotion from you there.
That's because I'm half German.
Ah, now you mentioned this to me earlier on. What do you want to say to the German fans here in the Lanxess Arena?
Das ist mir eine Ehre, vor so ein großes deutsches Publikum zu spielen. Besonders, weil ich halb Deutsch bin. Dankeschön, Dankeschön.
Yeah, 1 Minuten bitte. Talk me through that game. It was 2 matches. You looked all commanding through pretty much both of those maps.
I think it was 2 good maps from us. The V2 process was in our advantage, in my opinion. So they came back sometimes, and when you give Kinguin a momentum, they are very dangerous. You saw how emotional they were against Cloud9, so we had to keep calm and win the important rounds and just focus on our own game.
And we're talking about teams that know how to play on the big stage. I've said it before, this is the biggest of stages in CSGO. You enjoy the big stages, don't you?
I enjoy it. It's fantastic to be in front of so big crowd, and in my opinion, the best crowd so far in CSGO, so kudos to them.
You know how to talk to this audience. You know how to do it. And just talk me through where you feel your form is. It's been indifferent of late. It's been up, it's been down. You've been very honest about it. How do you feel as a team right now?
I mean, the communication and the skill-wise right now in that game was on point. And when we're on point, I feel confident in my team and we can do everything. But we also saw sometimes at ECA and APM that when the communication is broken, we don't hit our shots. We are just human like everybody else. So we just need to keep focused and prepared for the match tomorrow against Envious. And I want to tell you, we won revenge from IEM Gamescom from 2 weeks ago.
2 things there. First off, the word revenge. And secondly, the fact that after watching you play in that last map, that you're actually human. I don't believe this. So talk me through that semi-final. How pumped are you for it?
We're really pumped. This is the furthest this team have gone to a major, and there's only one goal right now. Let's get to the final and to play in front of this amazing crowd. Who doesn't want to do that?
I think he does. So put your hands together for a fantastic team captain and a great team. Carrigan and TSM. Thank you very much. And let's hand back over to the NVIDIA experts desk. Chobra, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, OJ. Went through a lot with Carrigan. They're right on stage, and I pretty much sums it up. I mean, TSM played really well, and if they play that well, it's kind of the result that most of you guys expected.
Yeah, exactly. We expected TSM to go through from this quarterfinal. Also, this should be a result that Kinguin can be satisfied with, coming into this major as a very big question mark. Making sure they're going to be here the next time. They have a lot of time to prepare, make new things, get their teamwork going, try to build in this coach role a bit more so that they'll have that experience. But TSM are one of the teams that we expect to reach the finals, so this should be a must-win for them.
Yeah, the big takeaway for me was just the lack of celebration. We mentioned it earlier when they came out onto the stage. They were just calm, they were collected, they were focused. You know, Kerrigan mentioned in that interview, if you give Kinguin momentum, they get scary. And every time Kinguin got any kind of momentum, I mean, TSM just kind of smacked it right back down. So just took them down a peg and then and just kind of closed the game out from there.
Yeah, fifth. I mean, overall, sure credit to Kinguin because it was a surprise that they made it to the quarterfinals, and all kudos to them. But TSM, let's just assume no matter the opponent, the score looked dominating, and TSM, their plays looked really clean cut. Do you think they're fit to really put up a good show and maybe go on to the finals against Envious now watching them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're looking great, especially on those two and both on Overpass. We knew that Overpass, obviously them picking that map, that they would be strong on it. It was looking kind of grim in the beginning of the first half there. Kinguin actually got off to a great start, but then just TSM just grinding away a few rounds and just got them back to the lead. And then when they switched over to the CT side and them already having 70 rounds, I knew then it was over.
Yeah, it seems that just that consistency that you guys have mentioned, whether it's the diverse map or whether it's their plays in-game, that's what's holding TSM together for now to go still on to the semifinals looking strong. They will be facing against Envious. We still have 2 more matches to go through though. Today, 2 more quarterfinals. Who's going to be on the other side of the bracket? Next up, after this break coming out, will be VP versus NIP. That's another big match a lot of people are waiting for, so we're going to make sure that we can jump right into that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, tell us who you think is going to move on. Talk about this monumental event in CSGO, hashtag ESL1. Let us know who's going to win, VP or NIP, to move on to the bottom semifinals. Of course, thanks to all of our friends over at HyperX and all of our sponsors making this event possible. If you missed any of the matches, download the Score Esports app at the iOS App Store and Google Play, and you'll get to catch up on everything you need to know for the ESL1 Cologne 2015 Major. After this break, we come back with the bottom half of the bracket, the next 4 teams to duke it out in the quarterfinals.